Blog Talk Radio.
Hello and welcome to Divas That Care. I'm Melissa Smith and I'll be your host for today. I'm so grateful that I have this opportunity to chat with women that inspire me and share their stories with you. Today I'm so excited to welcome an incredible young lady, Kelsey Smith. I had the pleasure of meeting Kelsey while we were both in the hospital for cancer treatments. We were roommates for a couple of nights, and even in that short time, Kelsey had such an impact on me. So welcome, Kelsey.
Hi.
Hi, it's so good to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. So do you want to start by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. My name is Kelsey Smith, and I was born and raised in High Prairie, which is about 3 hours north of Edmonton. I have two siblings, a younger brother and an older sister that were also born and raised here. My dad is a welder, and my mom works at his shop as a parts manager. Yeah, that's about it.
That's awesome. So I understand you really enjoy baking. Can you tell me about some of the things you've done?
Yeah, for sure. Since I was a little girl, I've enjoyed spending time with my mom in the kitchen baking. So as a confidence booster when I was younger, my mom said, why don't you start a cupcake business? So at the age of probably 10 to 13, I did it for about 3 years. I would bake cupcakes out of my house and then sell them, all different kinds. So different businesses bought them throughout the town, and even had the museum buy them for opening one day. It was really fun. And now I bake at a coffee shop in High Prairie called Fresh Inspirations. I bake my cupcakes and then just different options like scones and cakes and cookies. Yeah, so it's really something I'm quite passionate about. I enjoy doing it. It makes people happy and makes me happy that they get to enjoy my food.
That's really awesome. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
So when I met you in the hospital, one of the first things that I realized or that I noticed about you is how the relationships you built with the people around you. The nurses would come in and they'd just start laughing with you, and the other kids on the unit, they just all seem to know you and love you so much. Is that something that you try and carry throughout other parts of your life, making relationships like that with people?
Yeah, for sure. Especially when we were in the hospital, it can be such a dark and gloomy time, and it's hard. It can be hard to do it alone, and especially because we were so far away from all our friends and family in the hospital, them being back here, we had to make our own friends and family there. So I know some people that go through it with kind of blinders on and not want to talk to anyone and just get to the end. But my mom and I both had a different approach to that. We made sure that we tried to talk to our roommates and just, I guess, make the best of the crappy situation we were in. And yeah, I do try and do it throughout the rest of my life. Cancer has really taught me that you have to if you have a positive attitude going forward, everything in your life will have a positive outcome. It's much easier said than done. There is some things in life that are difficult to go through, but being positive really pushes you and helps you achieve whatever you put your mind to at the end. So I guess in my life all around, I try and have a very positive attitude.
I love that. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Are there any other things that you did in the hospital to help make it a brighter environment for yourself and for the other kids?
We like to have games and stuff. So actually one of them, my friend Justin, we would share a room quite often. We were running the same chemo. He had the same type of cancer as me. And because they're hydrating you all night long, you get about juice box an hour for the liquid through your IV into you. We made it a game that whoever peed out the most would get a little candy. So throughout the night, we would keep a cup on our table with different kinds of candies in it, Skittles and M&Ms and whatnot. And in the middle of the night, usually when I had to get up, he would too. And because I was on crutches, instead of ringing the nurse, I would ask him to help me. So I would be on crutches, and he would bring his IV pole and help me go to the bathroom. And then after, we'd kind of joke around about, well, I peed more than you did, so I get a candy this time. And so just stuff like that, I guess. We would have races down the hallway with the little scooters, and it's not as gloomy as everyone thinks it is. You find a way of making it fun and finding trouble, I guess, to get into.
Oh, that's awesome. I love hearing that. So I also just understand that you've been involved in some other fundraisers and events for cancer and for other childhood illnesses. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what you've been involved in that way?
Yeah, for sure. So there's been a couple of children in our community that have actually gone through cancer. So another family of our friend of ours, the Wongs, they got together and with us, and they started doing an event called Burgers for Cancer. And it's a fundraiser in the springtime every year that we've been holding at the Fountain Tire, and we put up a big tent, and there's all kinds of baking and burgers and hot dogs, and we do deliveries, and everyone just comes and donates, and then we split it 3 ways. So 2/3 of the money goes to 2 different families in our community that have been either affected by an illness or is battling something, and then the other third go to the Stollery to buy toys or whatever they need. A couple years ago, they needed more high chairs, so we bought high chairs and gift cards and toys, everything you can think of.
Oh, wow. I love that. That's so amazing. Have you ever gotten feedback from families that you've donated to about how that's impacted their life?
Yeah, actually, the first year they did it, we weren't a part of it, and we were actually the family that got the money. So being able to receive it and then give back is quite incredible. Like, living in our small community, we've had an amazing amount of support, not only with my illness, but moving forward for fundraisers for more children and other people in our community. It's just amazing what this small town has to offer.
Wow, that's really cool. When I was diagnosed, I had a similar experience. My small town kind of rallied around me and my family, and every little bit helps. It's really cool to see how this can bring people together.
And even just in the encouraging words, like we were getting so many text messages when I first got diagnosed that we actually made a site page for me so that we could get my information out to so many people because everyone was wondering. And it's just amazing. Like you felt the love that everyone was pouring into you.
Right. Yeah, it's such a cool experience.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, how about your treatment? I know that we were roommates. I think it was almost 2 years ago now. How's your treatment been since then? What's your experience been like?
So after I was done treatment, I was really good for about a year, and then I actually relapsed, and they found more tumors in my lungs. So my cancer had moved into my lungs, and I had a couple of large tumors that were kind of uncomfortable. So they went in and they removed them, but they couldn't get one tumor without possibly them hitting an artery. So they removed my whole upper right lobe of my lung, and since then they've had to go in and drain fluid a couple of times on my lung. But other than that, I get to spend time at home, and I live a fairly relatively normal life,
that's
doing
good
what
to
I
hear.
love, and yeah. So
Right.
I guess that part, treatment has been kind of ongoing, but
Mhm. And you
yeah.
also shared with me that you've chosen to, in part, battle cancer with a healthy diet, and you've recently started a blog about that, haven't you?
Yeah. So I cut out a lot of just processed foods and really paying attention to what my body likes. If I'm feeling like meat, I'll eat it, and if not, I'll completely eat vegetarian that day. So I cut out quite a few things, and so I had lots of questions and people coming forward and asking what I do to, or how I'm doing that and what I eat if I limit myself so much. So I, on my blog, I have 2 posts right now. One is a jam recipe and one is a blueberry muffin, and they're refined sugar free and completely organic and no gluten or anything, very clean. Just stuff that makes your body feel good and encourages healing and no growth of cancer.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So then I'm curious, since you love baking so much, do you eat lots of stuff that you bake, or do you give it away or sell it, or do you just
Lots
make
of it
clean
gets
food?
given away. Yeah, sorry, actually, I didn't mean to cut you off, but lots of it
No worries.
gets given away, or my brother eats a lot of it. There's always organizations that need it. A couple weeks ago, I was practicing my decorating skills, so I made a cake and we took it to the police department. So there's always someone in need of food.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
So you also shared with me recently that you had an opportunity to go into your school and talk about, I guess, like misconceptions about cancer. Was there anything that you learned from that experience that you'd like to share?
Yeah. Most of us can probably vouch for it. Cancer is not like The Fault in Our Stars. Hey,
Nope,
it's
not at all.
no, it's not as sad as everyone makes it out to seem. It you're not, I mean, don't get me wrong, you feel sick, but it's not, you're not laying in bed dying or anything. You know, yeah, you lose your hair, but no one ever tells you the perks of losing your hair when you're bald, like that. You cool off so fast in the middle of the night. If you're hot, you can flip your pillow over and you're cool. Or all the fun hairdos you get to try when your hair's growing out. You know, no one tells you the fun parts about I guess being sick or having those stages. We all dwell on the crappy negative stuff. So I don't know, I guess just that part I found is the biggest misconception, is that we're not sick laying in bed, and the hospital's not
sure.
this dark, gloomy place.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, it was definitely an eye opener for me when I was diagnosed and when I came into the hospital. I kind of realized, like, oh, this isn't what I thought it was. I don't know what I was expecting, but this sure isn't it.
Yeah. And even like the paint colors, when you go up to the kids ward, they're all bright, and I don't know, just that. There's difference. They make it's not as bad as you think it is.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. You've overcome absolutely every obstacle that's come your way, and you do it with a smile, and that's so inspiring to me. Your drive and your motivation and your desire to connect with people has really had a huge impact on me. Thank you for coming on the show with us, and thank you so much for sharing your sweet spirit.
Well, it means a lot. Thanks for having me today.
Thank you again. And for our listeners, this is a reminder that you can check out our this interview and others on our website, divasthatcare.com, or on Spotify or on iTunes. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you have a wonderful day.